Good afternoon and welcome to Guiseley AFC Radio. I'm Colin Robertson, and this afternoon we have full match commentary of Guiseley's Vanarama Conference North tie against Tamworth here at Nethermoor. It's a lovely day for football, actually. We were expecting rain, we were expecting quite slippery conditions. None of that really has transpired, and it's a beautiful setting for what promises to be a rather intriguing encounter between two sides battling it out at the different ends of this division. Tamworth, of course, who slipped down from the Vanarama Conference last year into Vanarama Conference North and have found life tough since a good early start to the season. The Lions side will be coming your way shortly, but first on Wednesday night, a young Lions side knocked out A.F.C. Halifax Town in the West Riding County Cup, with 2 goals coming from Nicky Boschel. Tom Feeney caught up with him after the game.
Tom Feeney joined with Mark Bauer after the 3-0 victory against Halifax Town. Mark, a good evening.
Yeah, really good performance. We had a mix of senior and academy players in the team tonight. I thought the senior players' attitude was spot on. Some really good performances from those boys, and you know, combined to score some really good goals. But then the academy players that came in and, you know, making the first sort of appearance in a more senior game, really impressive. Really pleased with what we saw there. Seen them a few times this season, but they really stepped up to the mark tonight, and you know, 1 or 2 put in the sort of performances that, you know, might not be too long before they're knocking on my door.
I was going to say, Nicky Boschel and Ollie Johnson, they both took the goals well.
Yeah. You know, when I think we got in really good positions on several occasions in the first half, especially, and yeah, they took the goals really well, and you know, it's nice for them to get some minutes under their belt, and you know, hitting the back of the net is a nice habit to be in. So good for them. Danny Forrest, I thought, played really well as that main striker for us, held the ball up for us and brought people into play. Stocky, good for him to get 90 minutes too. So yeah, I mean, get through to the next round, it means we get another game like that where, you know, players who need games can get some game time, and also the young lads from the academy can step up and play some grown-up football. In
terms of those academy players, none of them really looked out of place?
No, they all really looked very comfortable and confident, and play with good pace and strength and aggression. You know, I couldn't fault anything. I didn't think nobody looks naive or anything like that, or a rabbit caught in the headlights. They just really stepped into the team and produced, you know, top performances all around, really. So that's nice to see, and credit to Dave, Colin and Danny in the academy for bringing these players through, and you know, getting them to play to a level that they produced tonight, and get through to the next round will give them another opportunity to, you know, to play in game against, you know, big grown-up ugly men, and that'll help their experiences for the future.
I was just going to ask, it's going to be Selby Town next. Do you feel that could be a different game, though, in terms of Halifax fielded a couple of the academy lads? Maybe Selby Town might just field their strongest 11.
Yeah, possibly, but you know, that's fine, and you know, that's what it's all about. You know, the young lads coming through need to be playing against grown-up opposition as such. You know, it's a bit of a change from the sort of opposition they'll play in the academy, and that'll aid their progress. Also, you know, the lads that, if we do play any senior lads, then, you know, they're coming up against the type of players that, you know, maybe not quite up to the standard that they play every week, but, you know, it'd be good for them to get minutes under the belt. So yeah, look forward to that next round. You know, tonight we'll come up against the Halifax team. I know they played a few academy players, but they had a few senior players in there as well, so take nothing away from the lads tonight, especially the young boys. It was a really good performance.
Focusing now back on the league, then Tamworth on Saturday, just what are your thoughts on them? And of course, a number of the first team players have been given a nice rest tonight.
Yeah, we just used it as a training session tonight, so all the lads have trained. The Tamworth game, obviously, with a new manager in charge, it's a little bit difficult to know exactly what they'll do, but look forward to it. You know, I had a good result at home in the last home league game. Hopefully we can carry that kind of form on and get a positive result.
Thanks, Mark.
Mark Bauer speaking to Tom Feeney there after Wednesday's night West Riding County FA Cup competition, in which we beat A.F.C. Halifax Town with a very youthful academy side, admittedly against a very much a weakened Halifax side, who were in a similar vein of thought for the competition, but very entertaining football and a great result for the academy, who are coming on in leaps and bounds and certainly tying up the connections between the young players coming through the Guiseley junior team right through now, giving them an opportunity to play for the academy. And then on Wednesday night, superb to see players like Josh Snowden, Joel Thompson, who had played at Guiseley junior level and now coming through and playing for the first team, and I think there's some very, very bright prospects in that side. Welcome back to Nethermore for this afternoon's Vanarama Conference North match between Guiseley AFC and Tamworth. Let's go through the team news. First, Guiseley, who since back-to-back defeats at home to Gainsborough Trinity and Gloucester City have been in good form and have gone 3 games without conceding a goal. That's if you include Wednesday's County Cup tie. They line up today with Stephen Drench back in goal. It's a back four that sees Andy Holdsworth returned with Danny Lowe and Danny Ellis and Ben Parker at left back. Likely to be a 4-2-3-1, Jake Lawler and Danny Boschel, the 2 holding midfielders. Josh Wilson, Gavin Rothery, Wayne Brooksby, and then Adam Boys up front. Today's visitors, Tamworth, come to Nethermore with a new man in charge, Andy Morrell, who will be hoping he can bring some of the success he had at Wrexham as player manager to the Lambs. Whilst at the racecourse ground, Morrell took Wrexham to Wembley twice, winning the FA Trophy before narrowly losing a Conference National playoff final to Newport County. Tamworth need a change of fortune though, because they only have 1 Vanarama Conference North win to their name so far, and they've gone 8 league matches without a victory. This afternoon though, the visitors line up with a 4-4-2, Belshaw in goal, Smith, Preston, Purdy, Trainer, Taylor, Adams, James and Daniels as the midfield 4, and then Caden Jackson and Leon Metham, the 2 front runners. We'll go through those teams again just before kick-off. Don't forget, you can follow us on Twitter at Guiseley Radio, where we like to get any feedback you have on the game and our coverage, and it certainly helps us to know whether we're actually coming through on air and that we're being heard. And you can also email us, radio@guiseleyafc.uk, so .co.uk rather. So we really do appreciate your feedback, and we will be bringing you this game, this Vanarama Conference North game, live commentary throughout. But let's just return to Wednesday's night victory over FC Halifax. We heard from Mark Bauer earlier on, who spoke to Tom Feeney. Tom Feeney also caught up with Nicky Boschel, the man who got the 2 goals in that night.
With Nicky Boschel after that 3-0 win against Halifax Town. Nicky, good to get on the score sheet twice tonight.
Yeah, a bit of like I said, a bit of extra game time for me, get a bit of sharpness in, and obviously get a couple of goals, tops it off, doesn't it? That's a good team performance from really good academy lads coming through, and it's a good night for the club.
You took your goal as well, and Ollie Johnson got a goal as well. He took his goal well as well. So it's good to see a number of strikers getting back and getting a couple of goals.
More goals coming from every direction at pitch is better. I'd say OJ as well, and Foz created a couple of chances. I thought Foz were brilliant as well. Yes, more goals from different areas at pitch is only a plus in it for the team.
I was going to say, no offence to yourself, but you looked at them academy lads. They didn't look out of place with players like yourself.
They didn't. It was just on Bowser said it after the game. He said, you put yourself in good stead for getting first team squad. Basically, I thought it was some really good performances. And again, it's just a plus for club, isn't it? It's a bit of future there. Really good.
So do you see the West Riding County Cup as a positive, because players from the academy can get that game time, and players who maybe need a bit more game time can get that as well?
Yeah, spot on. Yeah, exactly. That's what obviously me, Foz and OJ just been coming off at bench really. Like obviously I started Saturday, but apart from that, it's been 20 minutes, half an hour. So again, to get 60 minutes in all of us, and then to see academy lads who've coming through, and like I said. But like Bowser said, and Arden said, really good performances out there. And like I said, clean sheet as well. Goodness.
Going back to the league now, then against Tamworth on Saturday, it's going to be a tough game for Guiseley. Are you hoping that you could maybe start that?
Yeah, hopefully. We'll see what happens. Like, but yeah, a couple of goals put me in good stead about it. Again, Tamworth, no easy games in this league. We've got 2 up bounce down. We got one of them Stalybridge in on Wednesday, so double header. Yeah, 2 in 4 days, so want to start picking up at home again. We've been doing well away. We need to start getting some home points again. After the 2 on trot we lost, obviously Oxford, we carry on where we left off from Oxford really, and then obviously away at Stalybridge Wednesday. Hopefully 6 points in 4 days. Hopefully.
Thanks, Nicky.
Tom Feeney speaking to Nicky Boschel there after Wednesday night's County Cup victory. A fine 3-goal victory for the Lions over a weakened FC Halifax Town side, but also a largely academy-led Guiseley side. But it's back to first team action and selection this afternoon, and the Lions and Tamworth now making their way onto the field here at Nethermore for what promises to be a very interesting and hard-fought match between these two sides. Tamworth, of course, in the conference, Vanarama Conference last season, and were relegated and found life difficult this year. Only one victory so far this season, and that was a very late winning goal against Gloucester City. But make no mistake, this will be a tough game because they've changed the manager. Andy Morrell comes in, a man who has had a great track record with Wrexham in his early managerial career. Player manager there, took them to the FA Trophy, won the FA Trophy at Wembley. We're back at Wembley a few weeks later to try and get promotion to the Football League for Wrexham on that occasion. Unfortunately for him, they were beaten by Welsh rivals Newport County 2-0 on the day, but certainly a man who's impressed many, and it's been a good selection for a lot of people's money for Tamworth as they make their way into the Conference North, really with the aim of recovering their season and getting back up the table. The two players out now on the field. Tamworth will be playing this afternoon, red shirts, black shorts, red socks. Guiseley, of course, in their normal white shirts, navy blue shirts and socks. Referee today, Paul Davison. He'll be assisted by Nick Hawksby and Graham Hopper. And we line up as follows for Guiseley, if you didn't pick it up earlier on. Stephen Drench in goal, Andy Holdsworth, Ben Parker. Andy Holdsworth returning at right back. Danny Lowe, Danny Ellis, Jake Lawler, Wayne Brooksby, Danny Boschel. Adam Boyce, who's picked up the Vanarama Conference North Player of the Month. His 5 goals this season, certainly well meriting that. Josh Wilson and Gavin Rothery. And then on the bench, Callum Marshall, Danny Forrest, Nicky Boschel, Ollie Johnson and Steve Dickinson. For the visitors today, James Belshaw in goal, Dominic Smith, Philip Traynor, Thomas James, Daniel Preston the captain, Robert Purdy, Connor Taylor, Jonathan Adams, Caden Jackson, Leon Metham, Brendan Daniels, and then on the bench David Hibbert, Raj Gill, Javan Vidal. Andy Morrell puts himself on the bench, so he's still player manager here, and Alekem Amenku. And it's a good afternoon from me, but it's also a good afternoon from Nick Keefe, who I'm delighted has joined us, fresh from duties of taking Adam Boyes' picture, I believe.
Yeah, good afternoon. It's a strange start to the afternoon, doubling up as press officer in some capacity today as the kick-off happens. But good to be there for him to be awarded that trophy, and good recognition of his solid start to the season. He's really picked up where he left off at the end of the last campaign. Guys,
he's struggling just in the very starts of this game. The ball just played into the area, headed away, and Leon Metham was looking to get on to the end of it. Tamworth have started very brightly here, just playing the ball down the right-hand side. Metham again in the action. The Lions clear. And then Gavin Rothery is robbed by Connor Taylor. He appeals for the foul, but to be fair, the referee wasn't impressed by that, and I think the right decision was made. The ball's out into touch, and it's going to be a Tamworth throw.
Yeah, good early pressure from Tamworth. As soon as the kick-off was taken, they've been in the Guiseley final third of the pitch, and the Lions just now getting it away for the first time.
Up to the halfway line, cut out by Smith, the right back, and then sent back into Tamworth territory. Chance for a breather, chance for Guiseley to get some shape before a long ball is sent forward, and it's taken down here by Metham, tackled by Danny Ellis, up to the halfway line, nodded on by Thomas James, who is left back today, and then sent forward down the right-hand flank towards Adam Boyes before being knocked out. And already we were talking about the lineups with some of the Tamworth fans, and they couldn't call exactly how it was going to be laid out today. Obviously a new manager, and he has his views of positions and where people are best placed. But Thomas James, who's a midfielder according to one or two Tamworth fans, is playing at left back at the moment.
Yeah, it does seem to be two up front, but one particularly far forward. That's Caden Jackson at the moment. Metham a little bit deeper.
Tamworth attack down the right channel again. Ball's overhit this time by Jonathan Adams and out into touch.
Sorry, Colin, it looks like a flat 4 in midfield as well, but we'll see how that pans out. Don't often see a very rigid 4-4-2 nowadays, even at this level of the game. So
no, that's true, and yet interestingly, we appear to be playing a similar sort of setup today.
Yeah, and I'm never sure how well that suits Gavin Rothery as a out-and-out left midfielder. He's got a lot of ground to cover, and I think the last time I was on commentary with you here, I was saying that he struggled to stay effective throughout the 90 minutes. He came off on 65-70, I think it was last week, and it was purely, I think, just the extra ground he had to cover. He's so inventive and he's so tricky that...
Purdy now's got the ball into the area, and Tamworth are coming forward with some purpose here. Jonathan Adams picks up the second phase, gives it back to Purdy. Purdy's left foot swings the ball in towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Danny Ellis in amongst it to clear the ball, send it up towards the halfway line where Wayne Brooksby on the right flank takes over, puts the ball infield to Danny Boschel. Boschel's clipped, but nothing's given. The ball still with Guiseley. Wayne Brooksby collects. Referee belatedly plays a play-on action as if he's given an advantage. I think that's the easiest way out for him. Gives the ball back to, anyway, Jake Lawler. Guiseley still move forward. There's a ball put into the area, and Adam Boyes was lurking. The man in the better position, Josh Wilson, was a couple of yards offside. And now Tamworth come down the other end with the ball, and it's Traynor, whose distribution is poor, holds his hands up, and he's knocked the ball out into touch for a throw-in to Guiseley. Early Vanarama Conference North goal. Chorley 1, Harrogate 0. Long ball forward from Guiseley. It's pretty aimless, and it's out into touch for a goal kick.
I guess the reason for the 4-4-2 formation suddenly is that we've got two out-and-out strikers. Now that we've got Josh Wilson in on loan from Halifax at the moment, his best position is definitely as a striker, and so rather than playing Adam Boyes as a lone man with 3 in behind him, to fit the best players in the team, to have 2 up front does sort of demand a 4-4-2 being used.
Stephen Drench has just had to come out of his area, clear the ball into touch. It was a speculative ball forward. Never really threatened the Guiseley goal, but he had to deal with it. In the end, it means that Tamworth have a throw on this right-hand side. Purdy throws infield. Adams is tackled. Guiseley come away with it with Jake Lawler. Sends the ball out towards Wayne Brooksby. Brooksby has to challenge with Thomas James. Brooksby raises his foot. Guiseley concede the free kick. Don't forget, tonight we have the charity auction held at 7 p.m. at the clubhouse. All proceeds going to the Royal Bolton Hospital ICU in memory of Paul Robert Drench, who was the father of goalkeeper Stephen. There's raffle tickets and, as well as the auction, a supper, and we're also going to have the Dunwells performing tonight, and it's going to be a fantastic evening. Tamworth now with the ball, send it down the left-hand side, tackled by Danny Ellis. It's cleared only as far as Brendan Daniels. Daniels' attempted cross is blocked. Another throw-in for Tamworth, and early doors it's looking pretty good for the visitors. Seem to have certainly started with some bright patches. And we're not looking not threatened as yet, but not too comfortable either.
No, there's not been a huge amount of passing quality from either team yet, but what Tamworth have done well is when they've had the ball is run with it and get it into the channels and have Guiseley on the back foot so far. See how Guiseley respond to that early pressure, but a lot of it is to do with getting the ball under control in midfield, which is not quite as easy when you've just got the 2 in there as opposed to the 2 and then the number 10 man who can drop deep and provide a bit of extra cover.
Tamworth have just produced a loose ball that gives Josh Wilson the chance to a throw on the right hand side, takes it quick, gives it to Andy Holdsworth, in for Ryan Toulson, and the ball forward up towards Adam Boyes. Good tackle comes in from Traynor, and Tamworth counter-attack, send the ball down the right hand side towards Metham. Metham turns it back in field, but it's beyond the Tamworth forward and into the hands of the goalkeeper Stephen Drench. Clearance up here to Wayne Brooksby. Brooksby takes it down brilliantly on the touchline, sends it forward, but it's pass is nowhere near as good as his first touch, and it's intercepted by Tamworth. Eventually, Guiseley tidy things up. Back to the goalkeeper. Sunderland 1, Stoke 0 in the Premiership. We'll be keeping you up to date with the scores as we get them. Welcome to all of you who are tuning in this afternoon. Thanks for doing so. If you've got any feedback, you can tell us at Guiseley Radio by our Twitter handle. Is it a handle? A Twitter handle? I'm never quite sure.
I think that's an okay word, isn't it?
Yeah, feels right. Guiseley have the ball in the halfway line. They've sent it long, and it's repelled by the Tamworth defence. Up towards the edge of the centre circle, where Brendan Daniels tries to control, but can't. Danny Lowe steps across. Ben Parker sends it back to Stephen Drench. Talked a lot in the build-up about the academy, and had a couple of interviews from the game after the match with Halifax, which pretty much was an academy match, bar a smattering of first teamers, Danny Forrest, Nicky Boschel and Ollie Johnson. That was a super performance as we went through 3-0, but not to forget the ladies also have had a big week. They beat Morecambe 5-3, and that moved them to third in the league, but they played Leeds United on Leeds ladies on Thursday night and unfortunately lost 3-1. But they've got Chesterley Street on Sunday, so the reserves are playing a Newcastle United side as well, and they've scored 19 goals apparently in 2 games, so got a tough week end ahead of them by all accounts.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if we saw half of 19 goals here today.
Tamworth now have the ball here. Connor Taylor takes a rather tame effort from distance, behind for a goal kick. Yes, 9-10 minutes gone, and it's a bit... It's not the greatest of games, is it, in the opening stages? It's a bit fragmented, not real pattern of play going yet for either side.
No, absolutely right. No quality from either team, particularly not from Guiseley yet, who've struggled to get 2 or 3 passes together. And as it stands, it's a shapeless sort of start. The one thing it's got going for it at the moment is the sun's out. The forecast was for a pretty dismal day today, actually. It's perfect early autumn weather. It's perfect football playing weather, but neither team's fully taken advantage of that yet.
Good crowd in here in Nethermoor as well. Guiseley have just conceded the ball though on the halfway line. A throw into Tamworth. We've had another goal from Conference North. It's Gainsborough 0, Worcester City 1. Vanarama Conference North, that is. Guiseley defend the throw, pick it up with Jake Lawler. He sends it down the right hand side up to the halfway line where Josh Wilson can chest the ball down, and Guiseley concede possession no sooner than they win it. But good work here from Wayne Bruxby. Robs Tamworth defence and runs forward towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Gives it to Boys. Boys takes a snapshot from the edge of the D. Just goes wide of that left upright. But bright stuff there from Bruxby, and good anticipation from Boys. Unfortunately not on target on this occasion.
No, lovely solo run by Wayne, and if the Guiseley passing game isn't working, you know there's always the chance that Wayne will just get the ball and run and beat a man at some point in the proceedings, and that's what he did there. He had the defence scampering back towards their own area and passed it at just the right moment to Adam Boys, actually, but difficult to get everything behind it on the first touch while you're running across it. And
good counter-attack here, and Tamworth come forward down the left-hand side there with Caden Jackson. Just for a moment looked like he'd got the better of Danny Ellis, and fortunately, the ball fell kindly for Stephen Drench, and Guiseley have recovered possession. I suppose the signs are just that one slip, one of these 2 attacking sides can be in. Metham and Jackson certainly have forged a good opening partnership thus far in this game. Parker sends it back to Drench.
Who did we see? I'm sure we've seen Caden Jackson play in the Conference North before. I'm sure we saw him play last year. I remember being impressed by him and thinking he was quite bright that day. Obviously, well, he can't have been. If that was the case, it wouldn't have been Tamworth, because they were in the Conference National this time last year.
Yeah, he was at Oxford City last season.
The beach game. The
beach game, yes. Guiseley come forward now with Andy Holdsworth. Gets a good one into the area. Danny Boschel collects. Jake Lawler from distance. A good drive with the right foot, but it was too close to James Bullshaw, who claims the ball and in the end throws it out to the left back trainer, James rather. He sends it forward, headed away by Danny Ellis. Up in the nodded on by trainer, and Danny Lowe collects, sends it up towards Josh Wilson. Guys, lose possession. Tamworth recover it on the halfway line, and Connor Taylor, his pass forward is blocked by Jake Lawler. And guys, recover now with Danny Boschel and Andy Holdsworth, just moving the ball on and getting it forward up towards Josh Wilson. Little flick from Wilson towards Boys. Boys is tackled, but Wilson picks up the second phase, comes forward now towards the edge of the goal, takes a shot with the left foot, held by the goalkeeper. Guys are carving out one or two more opportunities now. None with real conviction as yet, but certainly brighter from the Lions.
Yeah, Josh is playing mostly with his back to goal at the moment, and I think we saw there he's really keen, if he can, to turn and face and get some shots away, get his eye in.
Gavin Rothery steps across, takes the ball away from Connor Taylor. It's a Tamworth throw. Purdy now for the visitors. Gives the ball to Adams. Adams sends it up towards Taylor on the right hand side, just by the corner flag. He's in a battle with Parker. Parker wins that one, and the ball's out for a goal kick. Good defending there from Ben Parker, captain again today.
Yeah, and that's an interesting one, isn't it? Now that Andy Holdsworth's back in the starting lineup. I think that's happened. Ryan Tulson had picked up a knock, but I think Ryan Tulson might be the one in possession actually of that right back first team berth at the moment. And Mark's obviously taken the decision to keep the armband on Ben Parker, who's really made the left back slot his own.
Gavin Rothery now with a throw for Guiseley inside the Tamworth half. Nice one too with him and Wilson. Rothery now charges down the left flank, gets a good cross to the back post. Brooksby rather was in a great position, took it down but was tackled. But Guiseley have won the corner on that right hand side.
First opportunity to see Danny Ellis, Jake Lawler getting into the box.
Ball floated up towards the 6-yard box. It actually floats off the crossbar. Goalkeeper James Belshaw followed it, and I think he was aware of where it was going, but it bounced off the area, the bar and behind.
Well, that was a strange one. He must have hit it with the outside of his boot, Wayne, to curl it so that it landed on the crossbar. Otherwise, it would have had to have gone out of play. You'd think if he'd hit it with his instep, it would have had to have crossed the line and come back in to land on the crossbar. So not quite sure. Couldn't quite see at this distance what happened with that.
Now free kick. Adam Boys is bundled over by Daniel Preston, the Tamworth captain, going through the back of Boys in an aerial challenge in the centre circle. Danny Boschel hasn't taken it from exactly the right place, so the referee's just bringing him back. Guys, you have the option to get players forward. Jake Lawler now heading up towards the edge of the 18-yard box, but in the end Boschel opts for a square pass to Holdsworth into Brooksby. Guys, his possession is poor and they give it away, and now Leon Metham can send it down the left-hand side towards Caden Jackson. Leon Metham's an interesting player. He, very prolific for Worksop Town last season. He was with the Tigers. The last season he was in the Tigers, with the Tigers. Scored over 50 times for them. Signed for Tamworth in 2014. It's a step up for him. But Guiseley keeping him at bay at the moment. The ball with Danny Boschel now. Gavin Rothery over the halfway line. Connor Taylor in close attention, but plays a lovely ball in here to Adam Boys. Boys goes past the goalkeeper. Guiseley have the lead. A great ball there from Gavin Rothery. Adam Boys broke the offside, tripped the goalkeeper. James Balshaw came an awful way, long way out of his goal, and it was easy for Boys just to round him and slot the ball home. And with 16 minutes on the clock, it's Guiseley 1, Tamworth 0.
Well, that was a lovely finish from Adam Boys, and we always hear about the curse of the player or the manager of the month award, and it's only 15-20 minutes ago he was collecting that award out there on the pitch, and it shows he only takes one really good chance to get a goal, does Adam, and with his left foot through on goal, in at the near post. Goalkeeper never expected him to shoot with his left, but he was cool and calm and clinical, and that's a great start to what hasn't been a the easiest of beginnings of this game for Guiseley so far, but actually to be 1-0 up inside 20 minutes is a real confidence boost.
Tamworth trying to make an immediate response. Taylor to Purdy, sends it up towards Jackson, but it's cut out by Guiseley, and now Jake Lawler can control the ball inside the Lions half. Gives it back to Danny Ellis. Flick on again by Boys towards Josh Wilson, but well defended by Tamworth. Ben Parker intercepts on the halfway line, and Guiseley win the ball back. Guys are just trying to boss this game a little bit more than they were in the first 15 minutes.
Yeah, suddenly every man in white moving with a bit more urgency than they were in the first 15 minutes of the game. There's a real buzz around the team just in these moments after the goal.
Flick on there from Josh Wilson towards Gavin Rothery. It's cut out. Wilson's not given Purdy any time to settle. Purdy knocks the ball back to the goalkeeper. Boys was lurking. Tamworth do get the clearance away into the Guiseley half. Helped on by Dominic Smith. Headed away by Jake Lawler. And Lawler goes in for a firm tackle in the centre circle with Purdy. Tamworth come away with the ball though. Daniels and left back James combine well. Guiseley intercept, and it's a throw-in.
And you have to assume there's a fairly good possibility that if Guiseley ride out any immediate pressure after that goal, that Tamworth's confidence is not going to be that high at the moment, and to concede the early goal away from home against one of the high flyers, if Guiseley can consolidate that 1-goal lead.
Jackson's just done well to get the ball down the corner flag and get the ball back into the centre, into the penalty area. He's laid it back here, trying to get the cross in. Good firm tackle comes in from Andy Holdsworth, and it's out for a throw-in for Tamworth. But just as you were saying that, I could see them coming forward thinking, commentators curse there. That is exactly what's happening here. Tamworth have an opportunity to launch this ball from the throw. It doesn't look like they're lining up for a long one. It indeed goes short to Metham. Still down by that touchline, but they've worked it well. Got the ball across the 6-yard box. Guiseley make a clearance and eventually help it away as far as Philip Traynor. Traynor gets the ball back. He's got 3 players still up to aim for, up towards the man who's just beyond Ben Parker, but Parker intercepts and gets a header away to take it away from Connor Taylor. And Tamworth still in possession of the ball with Purdy as they press straight after this goal to try and get back onto level terms. The ball out here with Taylor now on the right hand side. A good cross up towards the back post where Daniels is there. He rather swings a foot at it and sends it up in the air, and it's comfortable for Brooksby to clear. But all credit to Tamworth, they retain possession again. They send it forward up towards Daniels. Guiseley eventually win it. Danny Boschel steps across and puts a calm foot on it, gives it to Josh Wilson. And Guiseley can come away with it now with Ben Parker. And lovely control again from the Guiseley captain. Gives it to Gavin Rothery and then continues with the run down the left-hand side. And had Rothery been able to deliver a better ball, that might have been an opportunity for Guiseley to carve out another attacking opportunity.
Yeah, right idea by both players. It was a good overlap by Ben Parker, getting ahead of Rothery. It would have been a really dangerous situation if the pass had been a little bit more accurate.
Lawler just sends the ball back to Stephen Drench. Up towards Adam Boys. Flick on from Boys. Taken away from him and sent back to the goalkeeper, Thomas James. A couple of goals now in the Vanarama Conference North. Solihull Moors 1, Bradford Park Avenue 0. And Brackley 1, Stalybridge 0. Stalybridge, of course, the team we face on Tuesday night. A trip across to Bowerfold. Guiseley defending at the moment as Tamworth put the ball forward towards the edge of the 18-yard box, but a good clearance, and there's uncertainty in the Tamworth defence as Josh Wilson's battling for it. It's a little unsighted, I think, as you're trying to see that ball come down with the low sun in his eyes.
Yeah, you can see the length of the shadows on the pitch already. You can tell this is definitely not the summer anymore. And that does cause problems for goalkeepers who are at the railway end, particularly in the first half of games from now until sort of the middle of November, Saturday games. Never seen Stephen Drench actually wear a cap when he goes at that end, but I do sometimes wonder if that's part of the thinking behind why we always play towards the railway end in the first half if we get the choice.
Perhaps we shouldn't be giving away these trade secrets.
It's all right, no one's listening.
Yeah, never a true word was said. Now, Guiseley intercept well. Gavin Rothery picks it up, gives it to Josh Wilson. Into the feet of Danny Boschel on the halfway line. Tamworth work hard, though, to disrupt the flow. And Boschel's rather over-exuberantly challenged by Connor Taylor. Referee plays on though. Guiseley still in possession of the ball, trying to let things go. Boschel with a little touch in towards Jake Lawler. Good tackle in on him by Jonathan Adams, and Tamworth come away with the ball here with Brendan Daniels. Into the feet of Trainer. And it's back with the Tamworth back line. More goals going in the Premiership. We'll just give you a couple here. It's all in the North East, or teams to do with the North East. Sunderland won, now leading Stoke apparently 2-1. And in the game between Swansea and Newcastle, all important, isn't it, for Alan Pardew? Swansea 1, Newcastle 0. If Newcastle need a manager, let's hope they don't look for Mr. Bauer. Might be a step up yet.
No, but still, hands off.
Yeah. Tamworth with the ball in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, up towards Daniel Preston, the captain. He's gone back towards the corner flag. Tamworth had a set piece right on the halfway line, sent it long. They've got the ball still down this right channel, but there's a good tackle come in from Gavin Rothery. Still Tamworth have the ball. Another throw. We wait for another ball to come out. Feeling this game actually, guys, it could do with a second.
Yeah, absolutely. We know from the patch of form we were on about this time last year, and I don't think Tamworth is as bad as the run that we were on, that if a team goes 2 down, that they'll, when they're in really in different form and they're struggling for results, that'll probably be enough. But at the moment, Tamworth have got plenty of fight still about them, and they're desperate to get back into this game.
Ball into the area by Connor Taylor. Repelled again. But still, Tamworth have the ball, and still they press. Purdy up towards Trainer. Trainer shoulder barges Jake Lawler off the ball and comes forward with it. Plays it down the right-hand side towards Connor Taylor. It's cut out up to the halfway line by Guiseley. Good work from Josh Wilson and Adam Boys. And then Gavin Rothery takes over and goes on a running race down the left flank with Robert Purdy in a close attention. Rothery does well to hold on to the ball, lays it back here to Jonathan Adams. Adams square to Jake Lawler. Lawler and Boschel in the centre of midfield hold on to possession. Tamworth now in full position inside their own half. Ben Parker skips forward though, charges down that left-hand side. Super run from Parker again, gives it to Rothery. Rothery goes down towards the touchline. Can he get the cross? He does. The goalkeeper blocks it. Eventually Tamworth clear up towards the halfway line. And Danny Lowe is in a bit of a battle with Caden Jackson. Danny Ellis steps over and hoofs it back towards the goalkeeper. We can take a breather, but that was a really good run again from Ben Parker, wasn't it, in the build-up to that move? It
was. I love watching him play like that. I remember there was a time when he was considered a left winger potentially at Leeds United, and we know he can play like that, and any time he chooses to go and beat a couple of men like that is exciting to watch.
Now, guys, they've just conceded a free kick. Wayne Brooksby, rather clumsy challenge on Leon Metham, and it's an opportunity now for Tamworth to have a set piece. This ball 2 yards in from the left touchline, about level with the penalty spot, so opportunity now for Tamworth to get the big men forward. Trainers in there. Dominic Smith, Connor Taylor, they've got about 5-6 red shirts in there. This ball whipped in, it's a very dangerous one, not dealt with at first by Guiseley, but eventually Jake Lawler gets ahead on it. Adam Boys on the edge of the 18-yard box, under pressure, eventually finds a way out and gives it to Wayne Brooksby on the right flank. Andy Holdsworth sends it long up towards Josh Wilson. Wilson and James battling for that ball, and in the end it's bounced kindly for Danny Boschel, who sprays it out to the left-hand side and taken down well by Gavin Rothery. Rothery up against Smith, goes into the area, twists and turns, gets the ball across the 6-yard box. Again, it's cut out at the crucial moment and helped away by Tamworth up to the halfway line and chested down. And the possession with the visitors once again, and they come forward down the right-hand side. Purdy steps up, curls one in towards the edge of the 18-yard box, but that's easy for Stephen Drench. and simple to claim for the Guiseley goalkeeper. 27 minutes gone. 1-0 to the Lions if you're just joining us. Adam Boys the goal scorer on 16 minutes. A good ball from Gavin Rothery. Calm finish from Boys. Took it round the advancing goalkeeper and coolly slotted it home with his left foot. Guiseley have had to do some defending as well. Tamworth have had possession, perhaps not really made a real notable opportunity as yet, but certainly had the ball in dangerous areas in the penalty area. The throw now on the left-hand side as Tamworth take over with Preston. He sends a wayward ball out into touch. And Guiseley will recover possession.
I'm just watching the midfield pairs and how they match up. And Jonathan Adams, who's playing number 8, is finding himself, who's the shorter of their midfield pair. He's deliberately going against Danny Boschel and leaving this giant Philip Traynor against Jake Lawler. And you won't see many players who make Jake Lawler look small, but there's a real physical challenge for Jake today. And they've obviously lined up deliberately that way to get the two really tall midfielders up against each other, and it's quite an interesting one to watch, quite a tussle.
Well, Tamworth have the ball again here. Purdy on this right flank, just inside the Guiseley half, sends it up towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Good twist and turn from Leon Metten, but met by a super challenge from Danny Lowe, and he makes 2 important tackles and gives the ball to Gavin Rothery. Rothery sends it up towards Boys. Boys dispossesses the centre half, gives it to Josh Wilson. Guiseley in possession of the ball. Wilson has to go backwards actually and gives it to Parker on the halfway line. Guiseley be happy when they've got possession of the ball rather than chasing after it, as they have been for spells in this match. Back with Stephen Drench. Girls are coming in thick and fast at Victory Park. Chorley 3, Harrogate Town 0. Disastrous day again for Harrogate Town by all accounts here. And Josh Wilson has just taken possession well, taken a drive from distance. It's bounced off the Tamworth defence, comfortably dealt with by the visitors.
No, they'll have to sign some extra assistant managers and sports psychologists to help the manager, won't they, Harrogate?
I have very reasonable fees. I don't know quite what I bring to the party, but you know.
I'm not sure what the manager brings to the party, but I'm fairly sure his job's safe.
Yeah, it's a tough old thing. You're really looking at them to be contenders, especially with Wally going there. You thought, well, you know, that's a proven goal scorer, but it just hasn't worked out for them.
Well, no, they've spent the money, but it's been a problem for a couple of seasons, hasn't it? That they've had very good players. It's never quite gelled. It's never seemed to stick together. I expected them to be playoff rivals this year with the money that they spent.
Could yet be. I mean, it's
absolutely
the anniversary of that third from bottom, isn't it, this afternoon?
Absolutely, yeah. I remember very well how horribly placed and how horribly we were playing at this time last year.
Tamworth now have the ball, not missing anything while we're talking. There's a rather meaningless passage of play where neither side's making any headway. Purdy has the ball now for the visitors. He's just chipped it in towards Metten. And Metten does well, takes it down to the corner flag, and actually earns his side a corner because the challenge made by Danny Lowe has seen the ball bounce off him last, and an opportunity for Tamworth with the set piece. They've got plenty of players forward. Traynor and Smith and Caden Jackson all line up on the edge of the area, ready to split, and when the cross does come in, it's dealt with by Guiseley. Tamworth retain the second phase again. Robert Purdy, a long ball in towards the penalty spot. Good claim from Danny Ellis. Good header, gets a firm clearance on it, and Wayne Brooksby sends it long. Up towards Josh Wilson. Chance here for Wilson to get on to the end of this. He has done. He's only got Purdy to beat and the goalkeeper. Wilson's made to go back. Crosses towards Boys. Difficult one for Boys to control. Rothery's in the area, and Boys has done well, though. He's still in possession of the ball on the left-hand side. Boys cuts infield, gives it to Danny Boschel. Little flick from Boschel, tries to feed the ball back into Boys' path. And in the end, there's a free kick given against Boys as he tried to win the ball back after Tamworth intercepted, and it's a free kick to the visitors. Rather disappointing, rather cheap free kick, I thought, actually, for the referee to give in that instance.
Yeah, but there was a real tantalising passage of play from a Guiseley point of view. There are lots of nice little ideas that just didn't quite come off. But as you say, Colin, Guiseley looking much better in possession than out of it, and they're much more comfortable when they've got the ball at their feet. And going forward, in particular, Josh Wilson is showing some quality and some sharpness that I'm not even sure I saw from him when he was playing so well for us the season before last. He really looks lively and difficult for these defenders to handle.
He's certainly come on as a player, hasn't he, by being in the Conference Premier, even albeit that he's not had the exposure that he would have hoped.
Yeah, and he's obviously come back with a bit of a point to prove as well, and whether it's here or whether it's at Halifax, he wants to be playing, and so he's going to do whatever he can to take advantage of the opportunity to be starting games, and whoever's eye he catches, he wants to be playing, and he's good enough to be.
Wilson does well this time, gets the ball from the goalkeeper. Not such a great moment for Gavin Rothery, though. He went to control the ball but lets it bounce under his foot. Throw in for Tamworth on the halfway line. Purdy to take. If you're just joining us, 33 minutes gone. And it's Guiseley 1, Tamworth 0. Goal from Adam Boys on 16 minutes, the difference between the two sides. Guiseley have had a couple of really incisive attacking moments. Tamworth have had plenty of the ball and the ball in danger areas, but no plethora of attacking opportunities or real goal-scoring opportunities to report in this match. Guys, he's certainly not comfortable. We could do with a second goal. Tamworth battling hard and look like Jackson or Metham could produce. A throw into the Lions on the halfway line. Holdsworth, who's in for Ryan Tilson this afternoon. And he takes a throw, gives it straight to Danny Lowe. Ball with Ben Parker inside his own half, plays it out to the right-hand side. Good ball from Parker, finds Brooksby. Brooksby plays it in towards the edge of the 18-yard box, but it's cut out well by Philip Traynor, who's been an influential figure for me for Tamworth this afternoon, a big part of their game. Jake Lawler, he intercepts and sends the ball back to Stephen Drench. Tamworth collect the ball from the clearance, nod it into Guiseley's half again. This time Ben Parker with a slightly weaker pass was intercepted there for a moment by Connor Taylor, but Parker does well to recover the situation. And then Josh Wilson is rather tamely penalised for a challenge. Dominic Smith would look to be tugging at Wilson if anything, but the referee Paul Davison's given Tamworth the free kick.
I thought Josh rolled Smith really well there. He let him use his own momentum and then stepped to the side. Smith's own forward force sent him to the ground and left Josh clear with the ball one-on-one potentially with the keeper. So I thought it was clever play actually. Let the defender lean into you and then just nip out of the way and let him tumble under his own weight was more what it looked like.
Free kick's not come to anything. It's all the way back with the Tamworth goalkeeper. Boys not giving him a moment to settle, already with another goal in the bag this afternoon, Adam Boys. And a bit of silverware for himself. I don't know quite what he got received, but he's the Vanarama Conference North Player of the Month.
Yeah, there's a big silver thumbs up is what we presented him with on the pitch. He doesn't get to keep that. That's the one for the season. He actually gets a glass one in a box, but it wasn't very photogenic as a trophy, so we didn't give him that one.
Gavin Rothery now chases after the ball down this left-hand side. Rothery's tackled by Taylor. Guys who in the throw though. Ball here with Ben Parker. Back to Jake Lawler. He sort of loses attacking momentum both sides, and it goes all the way back here to Stephen Drench. And the crowd aren't happy with the fact that Danny Boschell's just recovering possession and keeping hold of it. And gave him a shout to let him know, and he just had a little glance back at the crowd just to show his disdain at the view.
It was ever thus. I'm not going to do the Danny Boschell is he good or not debate for the millionth time. But
guys, he now picked up the ball here. Wayne Brooksby on the edge of the area, on the edge of the 18-yard box. A rather loose pass, and Brooksby had a half sniff at goal, but it was cut out well by Tamworth. We'll return back to the Boschel debate in a minute, but Tamworth have the ball.
There isn't a debate. Anybody who stops and looks at how many games we win when he's in the team will understand how important he is. That's it.
We all have different views. I mean, I agree with yours, by the way. You know,
Yes.
110%. But yeah, it's a strange one. It is a strange one.
No, you do see the passes that you know are going to sort of wind up the people who start out with that view, because he does sometimes pass sideways when you're seeing a forward ball, but he never makes a pass that he's not sure he can complete. And if that means keeping possession, then that's what keeps us ticking over. That's how he's always played. It's been good whenever we've had him in our team. So I don't know. Anyway, moving on.
Point made. We could be here all day, couldn't we, on this one?
Having said I wasn't going to talk about it.
Let's give you a couple of goals from the Vanarama Conference North. Stockport County in great form at the moment, leading Gloucester City by 1-0. We've already brought you that Chorley are 3-0 up. Solihull Moors are 2-0 up now against Bradford Park Avenue. Another poor afternoon again for Avenue after they had a reasonable attempt at Fylde last weekend in the FA Cup. Beaten after extra time, 2-1 in the replay, and now losing 2-0 to Solihull Moors. You heard it here first. And Fylde themselves are 1-0 up against North Ferriby. And a big game up there at the top of the Vanarama Conference North. In the Vanarama Conference, Halifax are trailing by 1-0 to Altrincham. They're playing at home today. Leeds United, Bradford City, Halifax, all at home. And we've got a good crowd here today, this afternoon here at Nethermoor.
Yeah, and it's our crowd as well. There's not a huge number of Tamworth visitors in the ground. The ones who are here are making themselves heard behind the goal, and that's always lovely. Even if there's a sparse crowd, they've been hammering away on the fences and making a good noise. But I think these are mostly locals, and they've come out for a good day and good weather, and hopefully things will continue to go Guiseley's way.
Yeah, so Caden Jackson just chased down Stephen Drench, and I think that slightly perturbed Nick there for a moment. Drenchy did very well, just played the ball past him. It's up to the halfway line, and then nice bit of interplay between Wayne Brooksby, is now out here on the left-hand side, and Ben Parker. Well tackled and intercepted by Tamworth, and they bring the ball down field, but can't control it. It's out into touch. Slightly pedestrian at the moment, isn't it, this first half?
No, I do trust Stephen Drench one-on-one with the defender when he's got the ball at his own feet, but there was a moment of panic where I thought I was going to get trapped in the middle of a sentence as a freak goal went in there again, and I've done that too many times, so...
It's all right, Nick, I'll interrupt.
Thank you.
As he's still trying to battle and get this ball back. Rothery and Tamworth are at odds with each other for a moment, but nothing comes of it. Guiseley get the ball out into touch for a goal kick. It was Caden Jackson who was battling in there with Gavin Rothery, and both of them went to ground. I'm not quite sure which way that would have gone anyway, but nothing's come of it, and it's out for a goal kick.
Just at the moment, there's a slight change in shape for Guiseley. I think they're trying Wayne Brooksby out on the left, and Gavin Rothery's dropped in behind as number 10. And Josh Wilson's playing as a right winger.
Now Guiseley get the ball to Rothery. Rothery feeds Adam Boyes back here to Wilson. Wilson plays the ball into the area just over the head of Rothery, and looks like it's going out into touch, but Rothery doesn't give it up. Gets the ball now down to the touchline. Can he earn the corner? No, good tackle actually. Comes in from Adams, and he clears. Guiseley pick it up though. Good industry from Gavin Rothery there down that left flank. I think it's a 4-2-3-1 we've reverted to. Andy Holdsworth gives it to Jake Lawler. Long one forward now towards Adam Boyes. Good control into the feet of Danny Boschel. Boschel plays it out to the left-hand side. Wayne Brooksby's onside down to the touchline. Can he get the cross in? He's got two to aim for if he can. Up towards the back post where Josh Wilson was hoping to get onto the end of it. It's taken away well by James. And now Guiseley lose possession, and it's good work there from Caden Jackson. And now Guiseley have to get back because Tamworth can counter-attack down this left-hand flank. The ball played forward towards Leon Metham, who goes down to the touchline, gets the ball across over the head of Jackson, helped away by Ben Parker, and then Danny Ellis completes the clearance to the halfway line. Well controlled by James. And it's good football here from Tamworth after being under a little bit of pressure. They're back in control. Purdy now on the right-hand side. Just holds on to it, and Tamworth allowed to hold on to the ball in their own half. Just looking to see what opportunity they can to come forward. It's second goal for Worcester City. Gainsborough 0, Worcester 2. Hensford have taken the lead at Boston United, so Boston 0, Hensford 1. And Stockport County have got a second at home to Gloucester City. Tamworth still in the possession. They've made about 10 yards up since I last spoke, passing the ball around. Guiseley still retreating into possession. The ball forward now here. Metham has a bit of a chance on the edge of the D. Gets a shot away. Guiseley have crowded him out. The second one blasted through. Another one from Metham just goes past the uprights and behind for a goal kick, although Metham's claiming that one took a deflection. And Guiseley had kept a good shape, but when Tamworth eventually did get some sort of a ball forward, they couldn't prevent the shot coming in, although they could block it. They just crowded out the Tamworth striker.
Yeah, real heart and mouth moment. So close to half time for Guiseley, and just keeping an eye on Ben Parker as well, who is holding his midsection. I don't know if he's maybe pulled something.
I have a feeling he was in the block for that shot, actually.
Oh, is that what it was? Has he taken one for the team?
I think so. I shouldn't laugh.
He'll be all right after half time if that's all it is.
Now Tamworth come forward again, and they just sense that they could get something back before the break. Ball played forward towards Caden Jackson, but it's well intercepted actually. Guiseley help it away, and then Adam Boys goes to ground, and I think he rather won that against Dominic Smith, didn't he? Guiseley nonetheless have a free kick, and there's going to be a change, and your call is absolutely right. It looks like Josh Wilson it is. Do you know, I haven't seen him limping there. Danny Forrest straight on for Josh Wilson. I actually thought we must have had an issue with Ben Parker. I didn't see Josh Wilson to go to ground. Did you see what the possible cause of that?
No
problem is?
No, but it might be partly to explain why we've gone to the 4-2-3-1 formation, because it didn't make sense with Wayne out here and Josh on the right, and obviously Danny coming on makes that formation possible. So I wonder if they've changed that, knowing they were about to bring Josh off a few minutes later.
Now Boschel plays the ball into the area. Danny Ellis with a header across the face of goal, just past the upright. Super header from Danny Ellis. Great ball from Danny Boschel. And almost the second on the cusp of half time.
Well, that would have sent us in absolutely over the moon, wouldn't it, to be 2-0 up just before the break. But I'm still looking out there. Ben Parker's still not comfortable. He's still wincing, and obviously we'll wait and hear what the issue with Josh is. But we've got to assume that he's injured to have gone off at that point in the game.
Well, he was limping quite heavily the bit that I saw him leaving the field. I'm just surprised. Free kick's just been given to Guiseley anyway inside their own half as Tamworth become more frustrated.
I confess, I was watching the shuffle of the players around as Wayne goes back over to the right. There's a good opportunity for Danny Forrest, who has dropped out of the first 11. He was in possession at the very beginning of the season for a few games, and we were winning games with clean sheets at that point. And I think he
was scoring goals. Yeah, he scored the first of the season.
And obviously he featured in the County Cup game in the week. He played most of the game on Wednesday night, and so he's got to hope he's got another 50 minutes in him today, because he's got an important job to do now, picking up from Josh.
Guys have just won a corner. Wayne Brooksby actually chased the ball down the right-hand flank. He took a deflection off a Tamworth man. Good opportunity now for the Lions, just on the break as we approach half-time here. Just a minute into stoppage time. This one floated in towards Adam Boys. He takes a attempted volley that doesn't work out this occasion. Goes behind for a goal kick, and the referee, Paul Davidson, decides at half-time. Guiseley 1, Tamworth 0.
Well, I think, guys, they're just about value for the 1-0 lead at half-time, but you wouldn't feel too hard done by if the scores were level either. Tamworth had a good start to the game. Their heads haven't dropped since the goal have gone in. They're fighting for it, and I suppose that's as much the new manager bounce as anything. Guiseley, I'm sure, are going to need the second goal to kill this game off. the good news is they've looked capable of it, and they've looked lively, and they've just got to respond to the slight change in personnel and formation at the beginning of the second half, come out and see if they can chase that second without conceding too many clear opportunities at the other end of the pitch.
So we go to the break. Let's just give you the latest scores in the Premier League and in the Championship in the Conference North as they relate to our key games that we're following. In the Premier League, first of all, Hull 0, Crystal Palace 0, Leicester 2, Burnley 1, Liverpool 1, West Brom 0. Some of these goals just going in on the cusp of half-time. Sunderland 2, Stoke 1, Swansea 1, Newcastle 1. In the Championship, it finished Leeds 1, Sheffield Wednesday 1, Blackburn 0, Huddersfield 0. In League 1, Bradford City are held 0-0 at the moment by Crewe Alexandra, a team that they seem to always struggle against teams at the bottom of the division. Halifax 0, Altrincham 1 at the break in the Vanarama Conference. And in the Vanarama Conference North, it is Barrow 0, Lowestoft 0, latest score. Boston 0, Hensford 2 at half-time, Brackley 1, Stalybridge 0, Chorley 3, Harrogate Town 0. Colwyn Bay 0, Oxford City 0, Fylde 1, North Ferriby 0, Gainsborough 0, Worcester City 2, here it's Guiseley 1, Tamworth 0, Leamington 0, Hyde 0, Solihull Moors 2, Bradford Park Avenue 0, Stockport County 2, Gloucester City 0. Well, we're out of breath. We need a cup of tea. We're going to go off air for about 10 minutes just to refresh ourselves. We'll be back for second half commentary. Hope you can join us then, and we'll see you soon. Welcome back here to Nethermore for the second half of this Vanarama Conference North game between the Lions, Guiseley, as they take on Tamworth. The Lions leading by a goal to nil. Adam Boys scoring it on 16. That's the good news. The bad news is that Josh Wilson has limped off just before the break, replaced by Danny Forrest. And this Tamworth side certainly looked like a team that could threaten an equaliser, and a second goal is really important this afternoon, I think, if we're going to get the 3 points here. But at the moment, we're in a good position in terms of the scoreline. So we hope that will continue across the course of the second half. The two teams out now, and Guiseley take the kick-off. They're shooting from left to right as we watch them. Danny Lowe immediately launching the ball long, and no doubt looking for Adam Boys, who takes this ball down well. And Nick, we just have to hope that we can make that breakthrough and get that second goal, because this has been a tough afternoon, hasn't it, with Tamworth. They look a fairly resilient side, and certainly look like one that could just snatch an equaliser in this game and change the context and the course of this match.
I absolutely agree. They've got very physical players. They've got some very tall, strong players that cause Guiseley problems, and they've got two lively-looking forwards. And most importantly, they've not let their heads drop. As I said before half-time, having gone a goal behind, they've chased the game. They've continued to try and get the ball forward and stretch the Guiseley defence whenever possible. They're working hard in midfield, and the strikers are chasing down well. And you've got to assume that if Guiseley want to get 3 points today, that second goal will be necessary.
Well, Lions are on the ball at the moment. Danny Forrest working hard, but he tried to feed it back to Jake Lawler, and it's been intercepted, and now Tamworth come forward down the right-hand side, looking to put the ball into the area, and it's a good one. It's found Leon Metham, who's on the edge of the 18-yard box, on the angle. Bets a good reverse cross into the area, plucked out of the air by Stephen Drench. Just a quick note to thank George McPherson and Wayne Thompson for their comments, predicting a 4-0 victory today, George McPherson, I'd have to say. Let's hope you're right, and Wayne Brooksby might just break this one through. Goes forward, the ball bounces off the goalkeeper, he makes a save. Adam Boys tries to force it over the line, and yet the defender is on the line there, ready to clear. Boys holds his head in his hands. He's frustrated with himself that he couldn't make a firmer connection on that, and from nothing, Wayne Brooksby goes forward and almost gives Guiseley a second goal in this game.
Yeah, it was another lovely run by Wayne. Good shot at the keeper, who had to parry it, and it just basically bounced into Adam Boys. Didn't have a chance with his left foot to get anything behind it.
Holdsworth now into the area, gets the ball across the face of the 6-yard box, eventually cut clear. Guiseley still pressuring Tamworth here, looking for that second one, but they have to now watch the counter-attack, because the visitors come forward down this left-hand side. Now go central here with Leon Metham taking a shot from range, well held by Stephen Drench. And yes, I was just saying there, George McPherson was predicting 4-0. We were just hoping it was right. Nicky Boschel 2 goals, Gavin Rothery and Ollie Johnson. And at the moment, only one of those is on the pitch, so hopefully the bench, Boschel and Johnson are on the bench today, will do the business.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if it works out that way at this point in the game, but I would take it if we were to see 3 more goals from the substitutes who haven't come on yet, but that'd be nice.
Now Guiseley under pressure are defending this, and it's a Tamworth throw.
Interesting to see in the second half how Stephen Drench works with this low sun. It's still out. It's still a lovely sunny day down there on the pitch. We're obviously sat in the shade in the cold at the back of the stand, but down there the shadows are even longer than they were an hour ago. And with that stop that Drench had to make a few minutes ago from that speculative long-range shot, you could see that potentially has the difficulty of being unsighted a bit with the sun. Too low now for a baseball cap even.
Brooksby now picks up the ball for Guiseley on the right-hand side, puts the ball into the area, gets the recovers the deflection, and then drives it towards the goal, and it's gone behind for a corner. good move there from Wayne Brooksby, wasn't it? And a good effort there from after the initial effort had bounced back off the Tamworth defender.
Yeah, he's stuck at it. He's good reactions. He's come alive, really, since the change in formation. I do think he enjoys not having quite as much defensive work to do when he gets to play as an inside forward.
The corner whipped in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, bounces away in the 6-yard box. Nobody's got on the end. Danny Forrest is in there. He can't force it over the line. Eventually, Tamworth with enough bodies in the way to clear. And it's a long clearance, and it goes down to Danny Lowe, and Danny Lowe takes that one well away from Caden Jackson, and Caden Jackson goes to ground, and I think he's picked up a knock as he's tried to twist and turn and challenge Lowe. That doesn't look good. So certainly no malice or nothing on the challenge that was ill toward. Guiseley get the ball away. It's here with Adam Boys. Boys plays it into Jake Lawler. Good ball out here to Wayne Brooksby, getting plenty of the ball in this second half. Goes in towards the edge of the 18-yard box, takes a shot with the left foot just wide of the upright. And again, Wayne Brooksby coming down that right-hand side, finding himself some space, cutting in field this time, and taking the drive with the left foot, almost breaking down the Tamworth resilience.
No, I think Wayne enjoys the freedom of not having to hug the touchline, not having. I'm not accusing him of low work rate, anything but, because he covers an enormous amount of ground. But I think he enjoys being able to play a little bit further forward and come in off the line, get into the area, and have the option to go through on goal a little bit, rather than purely just trying to cover the full length of the right touchline, as he was doing, playing as a pure right midfielder at the beginning of the game. And it does give him those opportunities to run into the box, and he looks like he's interested, doesn't he? When he's in that sort of a mood, he can cause problems for anyone.
So 51 minutes gone. Still Guiseley who lead by 1-0. Still Adam Boys the goal that's the difference between these two sides. Lions at the moment have had the better of the second half, though, and have had a couple of opportunities. Wayne Brooksby getting plenty of action on the right-hand side. But yet it's Tamworth who come forward at the moment. Trainer brings James into play. Left back plays it forward up towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Mettam tries to control. He's blocked by Ellis, and then the high foot from Mettam is penalised. And it's a free kick to Guiseley.
Yeah, it's been a good start to the second half. Guiseley have had good chances. Tamworth continue to try and play out at pace. It's a good competitive game actually at the moment. Well, for periods of the first half, it was a bit shapeless and directionless. Both teams clearly know that the next goal is going to be very important in deciding the direction of this game.
Wayne Brooksby now out on the right-hand side, cuts in field to Gavin Rothery. Rothery back to Brooksby. Brooksby has a run at the full-back here. Gets a good square ball here to Rothery. Rothery on the edge of the area. He's held down, but turns well. Takes a shot away with the left foot. Just couldn't get enough behind it to threaten the goal. Held by the goalkeeper. The counter-attack is immediately on, and it's James again who comes away with the ball for Tamworth. Into the centre circle now with Jonathan Adams. Tamworth come forward over the halfway line. Smith out to the right-hand side. Daniels, the cross is blocked this time from Taylor. And it's a Tamworth throw. Back level the edge of the 6-yard box on the right-hand side. Opportunity now for the Lions to clear, because the throw's gone short and Danny Boschel can launch it away. It's picked up now by James. James sends it into the area, headed away by Lowe. Picked up here by Daniels. Tamworth can't keep control of the football here, though. They've got back to the halfway line. James now sends this one long right field towards Purdy, who controls well, gives it back to Taylor. Taylor on the edge of the 18-yard box, curls it in towards the back post where Trainer is there. Trainer gets a header on it. Guiseley do enough to clear. Back it comes, though, from Tamworth. And then this time Taylor's ball towards Purdy is overhit. And it's behind for out for a Guiseley throw in their own left-back position. Dangerous ball in there towards Trainer, and that was a good opportunity for Tamworth.
Yeah, it was, and they continued to search. They've had good possession and pressure in the last few minutes. It's quietened the crowd down inside Nethermore here. I think everybody's got that sense of anticipation that the game, it's not quite hanging by a knife at the moment, or hanging by a thread at the moment, but definitely it is finally poised.
Yep, certainly it feels like that, doesn't it? It feels like, again, it's the old adage, the old cliche rather. The next goal is crucial, but it certainly feels like that at this moment in time.
The longer that continues with a 1-0 lead, the more the tension builds on the team who's trying to defend that lead, because they have everything to lose, and it doesn't take much. It only takes one slip to lose that advantage. And Guiseley will definitely be looking for a second goal, but of course, for that reason, they can't commit too many men forward. Tamworth will keep up their spirited attacks. I suspect a second goal would probably break that spirit and would be enough to see Guiseley over the line with 3 points. But the longer it stays at 1-0, the more tense it is likely to get.
Throw in for Guiseley inside their own half on the left-hand side. Couple of goals in the Vanarama Conference North. Stockport County 4, Gloucester City 0. They're giving them a good hammering this afternoon there at Edgeley Park. And Leamington 1, Hyde 0. Poor old Hyde. They started winning, but they're back into losing ways again. Tackle comes in on Wayne Brooksby from Thomas James, so it's gone out for a throw-in. Goes on the halfway line. Goes back to Stephen Drench. Not to forget, we've got the charity auction this evening. It's a auction with all proceeds going to the Royal Bolton Hospital ICU in memory of Paul Robert Drench, so Stephen's father, who sadly passed away this summer. And there'll be an auction, raffle tickets available for £1. If you want to put a bid in beforehand, best to get online, go to the website, see what the lots are. There's some great prizes, some fantastic opportunities to bid for, as well as prizes in the raffle. So get yourself along this evening, or if you can't do it remotely via the auction. Now Guiseley win possession back. Danny Forrest gives it to Gavin Rothery. It's sent forward, and then there's a block on the edge of the 18-yard box that appears to have been handled by Tamworth defenders. So Guiseley now have a free kick. It's about on the edge of the D, realistically speaking. There's a good opportunity for a set piece for the Lions.
Yeah, dangerous position. They'll be queuing up to take it. I suspect Wayne Brooksby will have his name on it. Be well suited to a left footer as well, and Ben Parker is hovering in fairly close attendance. Referee's got a job to get the wall away. There's 5 men in it, which gives you an indication of how dangerous James Belshaw considers the free kick to be. Just on the edge of the D, just right of centre. All options available.
Holdsworth, Parker and Rothery. Sorry, not Rothery. Who's the third man? Brooksby, presumably.
Yeah.
Are in a huddle to decide who's going to take it. One of the three of them. They're all three set up as if they're going to take it. My money's actually on Brooksby. The free kick goes up. Brooksby does take it. Takes a deflection. Well saved by the goalkeeper. The deflection took it away from Belshaw. Belshaw changed his position and managed to get a palm right on the goal line and peel it away from the goal at the crucial moment. But Brooksby's free kick almost undid Tamworth then, but for a fine save from James Belshaw.
Yeah, excellent reaction stop. He must have seen that ever so late as it changed direction from the deflection, as you say. And just agonising for Guiseley that it didn't drop down into the path of a home player.
Holdsworth now takes the ball, plays it in towards the penalty area, cut out and knocked out into touch for a Guiseley throw on the right hand side. Thrown infield to Gavin Rothery, back here to Holdsworth. Jake Lawler gives it to Brooksby. Brooksby plays it square here to Danny Ellis. Ellis plays it out to the right hand side. Danny Boschel still in possession of the ball for Guiseley on the right hand side. A big shout for offside. He gives it to Brooksby. Great cross from Brooksby up towards Adam Boys, but it was cut out and knocked behind for a corner kick to Guiseley. The inquest in the Tamworth defence is with the referee's assistant over there. They felt that Danny Boschel was offside in the build up to that, but it's a corner kick nonetheless to Guiseley.
Impossible for us to tell at this angle whether someone's offside that far up the pitch. So instead we'll say it was a really good cross that time by Wayne Brooksby, coming in at just good shooting height inside the 6-yard box. And it was only the fact that Adam Boys was double marked that led to the corner rather than a shot.
Corner comes in up towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Danny Ellis at the back post, can't get over the ball. Volleys it sort of goal bound, but it's always rising, goes over the bar and behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, that was a shame. If he could have just got his foot a little bit higher, he could have pushed the ball forwards. Instead, sort of doomed to just spooning it upwards.
Premiership goal, Liverpool 1, West Brom 1. Tough week for Liverpool. West Brom getting back on level terms there. Guiseley having a bit of a head tennis battle with Tamworth at the moment. The visitors have got it on the ground and have given a free kick against Danny Ellis. Again, a rather cheap looking free kick from the referee's perspective to award.
There's not been many fouls in the game, to be fair, and I think the only time you notice that is when a free kick's actually given, because I wasn't sure that was one either, as you say, but it's been a very clean game.
It's a dangerous set piece this for Tamworth, about 10 yards up from the angle of the penalty area on the right-hand side. They've got plenty of players on the edge of the 6-yard box, sent up penalty spot area where guys are trying to hold the line. 6-5 as I can count. This one's whipped in towards the back post. Dominic Smith wasn't far away from being able to connect with that, and it goes behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, and the tension does continue to rise. Guiseley players, as they're waiting for the goal kick hit, geeing each other up, clapping each other on, lots of communication going on out there. I think they realise the longer this passage of play goes on into the second half, the more important every decision they make and every pass and interception and tackle they attempt becomes. The ball knocked out into touch by Stephen Drench. Guiseley concede possession. Tamworth get another free kick. This time Jake Lawler is adjudged to have fouled an opponent, and it's an opportunity again for the home side to the visitors to press. The free kick about 10 yards into the Guiseley half from the centre circle. This one whipped in towards the back post. Stephen Drench claims that one well with his cap on his head. Yeah, for all that I said, having never seen him, I don't think I've ever seen him wear a cap before, certainly not routinely, but he's got one now, and very fetching it is too. Maybe he'll put that up in the raffle tonight.
Ball played down the right-hand side by Andy Holdsworth from the clear-out, finds Wayne Brooksby. Brooksby does well into the penalty area, lays it across to Rothery. Rothery's shot, super save from the goalkeeper. Forrest with the rebound, well held by Belshaw the second time. But a fine save again from James Belshaw to deny Gavin Rothery on that occasion. And the ball beaten away and into Guiseley's half, but a real opportunity on two occasions now for the Lions to have got that second, on both denied by brilliant saves from James Belshaw.
Yeah, make no mistake, Guiseley have carved out goal-scoring opportunities, and they've had chances. They've made the chances that they would have wanted to have made to try and get a second goal. Belshaw's made some cracking saves since half-time, though.
Liverpool 2, West Brom 1. So Liverpool back in front there at Anfield in the Premiership. Guiseley now back under pressure here by Tamworth. Taylor coming down the right-hand side. He's up against Rothery. Taylor right by the touchline. Goes back. Gives it to Adams. Adams floats one into the area. And it appeared to bounce off the upright there as Stephen Drench watched that go by from where we were. But I can't imagine it did do. It must have bounced back off the upright from having hit the fencing beyond.
The people around us in the stand are pondering the same thing. It did look like it, having left it, it actually hit the post, but
he knew where it was.
He knew it was going to hit the outside of the post enough that it would spin behind, right? he judged it that well.
I think it must have been a strange sort of angle we've seen it from. Hull 1, Crystal Palace 0 in the Premiership, and the first substitute of the afternoon for Tamworth, and it's David Hibbert, a forward. He's coming on for Connor Taylor, so I can imagine we will be seeing a change in formation. Hibbert's a tall lad, isn't he? He's certainly going to throw some aerial threat.
No kidding. I mean, he's towering over Danny Lowe, who admittedly isn't the tallest centre-back that you're ever likely to see. But Hibbert has a huge size advantage on him.
Tamworth now with the ball coming down the right-hand side with Purdy. It's blocked though, and guys, get it away. Danny Forrest now can spray it out to this right-hand side. When Brooksby doesn't judge the flight of the ball quite correctly, and it's gone beyond him and out. James takes the throw. The low sun certainly seeming to cause players problems, as it does when we go forward. It seems to cause us more, doesn't it, this half, than perhaps it was causing Tamworth the previous half, because the sun's that much lower, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean the shadows now are twice as long as the players are tall, if you see what I mean. And the sun's almost directly in Stephen Drench's pointing directly in Stephen Drench's face at this stage of the game, and that's a problem for him, and it's a problem for the two Dannys at the back as well, Danny Lowe and Ellis.
Now Brooksby comes forward with the ball. He's taken down by Philip Traynor. The referee tells Brooksby to get up, but there's absolutely no question about it for me that Traynor has brought down Wayne Brooksby. The crowd's not happy. Tamworth come forward, the ball into the area. Andy Holdsworth has to intercept before Caden Jackson gets onto the end of it. Referee's made a mistake there, hasn't he?
I think he has. I think possibly it's that Traynor was the other side of Wayne Brooksby from where the referee was standing, and Traynor took both of Brooksby's ankles from behind as they went across each other. I can only assume it was actually Wayne's own body that unsighted the referee, because otherwise there's no doubt you have to give a free kick there.
And in the end, it's resulted in a Tamworth corner. Guys are busy having a discussion with the referee at the moment. The corner eventually will be taken here by Daniels. Daniels floats this one in, headed away by Danny Boschel, helped on by Adam Boys, but it's still going to be in Tamworth's favour, though. A throw-in inside the Lions' half. On the right-hand side, Purdy, midway through the Guiseley half. He throws it back to Smith. Smith, under pressure from Adam Boys. Good work from Boys to harass this back line to prevent them building up the smooth passing flow. Forces it back to Preston. Preston sends it long towards Jackson. Clearance is made by Ben Parker. And eventually the referee gives a free kick for the challenge on Jake Lawler. And I'm not entirely sure that one was necessarily our way either, I'll be fair.
No.
But free kick it is, we'll take that one.
No, I don't think Jake was fouled there. I think he jumped for the ball and missed it, and was climbing a bit on the Tamworth player actually, and the Tamworth player moved, and he landed on the ground pretty hard with nothing to break his fall. But there you go.
Game of opinions, eh, Nick?
Yeah, sure.
Leamington 2, Hyde 0, Colwyn Bay 2, Oxford City 3. There's always goals with Oxford City, isn't there? Ball forward now from Stephen Drench, aimed towards Danny Forrest. Intercepted by Purdy, out for a throw-in. Parker comes forward to take the throw. It's about level with the edge of the 18-yard box. Lays it back to Lawler. Rothery now can't feed it through back to Parker, and Tamworth recover. They'll feel they're going to get more of this ball in the second half. Good run from Hibbert, though. He rides a challenge from Lowe. Hibbert comes forward. He's surging forward. Nobody's stopping him. Hibbert takes a shot. Danny Ellis gets a block, but it's fallen to Jackson. Jackson's drive blocked again, this time by Lowe, who recovers in time to make the important challenge. Tamworth still in possession of the ball here with Adams. Adams and Daniels combining. Guiseley now sitting back onto the edge of the 18-yard box. Tamworth send the ball forward again, this time over the back line and into the safe hands of Stephen Drench. But that run from David Hibbert just didn't seem to be stopped, did he?
No, he's not a one-dimensional big man, is he, at all? I mean, he moved at a good pace there, fully in control of the ball. It was fortunate that Danny Ellis was so decisive. If he'd left that half a second late and tried to come out and make that challenge, the moment would have passed, and he would have glided past him and been straight on through against Drench.
Guys, who've just got the throw, and on the bench on the far side, Andy Morrell, the new Tamworth manager, the player manager, absolutely furious with the referee's decision to award Guiseley throw. It wasn't particularly clear who it came off, but certainly attracting some attention. Guiseley do take it, send it down the left-hand side, but Boys struggles to keep it into play. At the end, he has to concede a throw-in to Tamworth, but they're just in their own corner flag, on the right-hand side in their own right-back position. This throw is taken, sent upfield, and Brendan Daniels in controlling the ball. concedes a free kick for handball. And this is a good position now for Guiseley to get a cross in.
Yeah, guys, they've been under pressure in the last few minutes. This is the first time they've had in the Tamworth half for quite a little while now, and to have the set piece gives them the opportunity to get everyone, apart from Andy Holdsworth and Danny Lowe, forward. But it all depends on a good delivery, whether it's Wayne Brooksby, I think it is.
Brooksby does deliver it, and it's a poor delivery. It goes straight to the Tamworth defence on the edge of the 18-yard box, and they can clear and come downfield once again. Jackson harrying Lowe. Lowe does well to get a clearance in, but he doesn't find a Guiseley man. Adams concedes possession though, and Danny Forrest and Wayne Brooksby combine well. Brooksby is tackled well by Purdy, I think it was, out there on the right-hand side, and good football again from Tamworth in recovering possession. Guiseley again sitting deep. The longer this game goes on, the more you think Tamworth might just grab this equalising goal, because they're having much more of the ball and much more of the possession, even though they haven't really carved out the opportunity as yet to test Stephen Drench. They're in the ball now anyway with Philip Traynor. Traynor towards the edge of the D. The ball laid back here to Adams. Adams some distance from goal, threads a beautiful one in here to Caden Jackson. Jackson just lets it escape him, fails to control it, and it's out for a goal kick. And a bit of a let-off there for the Lions, because that was a lovely threaded ball through from Jonathan Adams that Caden Jackson really will have to look at himself and think he could have done a lot better with.
Yeah, huge let-off. He was on his own in the Guiseley area, down by the touchline. Nobody around him. He would have had his time to pick out a pass or try and double back to get an angle for a shot on goal, and he's just taken his eye off the ball, I think, and completely missed it.
Some goals in the conference, Vanarama Conference North. Solihull Moors 3, Bradford Park Avenue 0 now. Leamington 3, Hyde 0. And Colwyn Bay 3, Oxford City 3. So Colwyn Bay fighting back from 3-1 down to 3-3.
If nothing else, if you're an Oxford City fan, you can expect to see some goals, when you go to a game, can't you?
It's entertaining stuff. Guiseley now defending once again. Tamworth in possession of the ball. Play it up towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Good header from Hibbert. Helped away by Boschel. Only as far as Adams. Adams drive from distance. A dipping effort from the edge of the D. Stephen Drench was under the bar and able to watch that one go over the crossbar. But again, more danger from Tamworth as they come forward.
Nice effort. Really good technique actually from Adams. It would have been a goal of the season contender if it had gone in, but shows that the threat can come from anywhere, not just from the strikers.
What does Matt Bauer do at the moment? I mean, it's difficult to see who you bring on off the bench to change things round, or if the formation's not working.
No, I don't think he's got the options there that he would want today. If you'd got Ryan Toulson on the bench, I'd put Andy Holdsworth in midfield for a bit of extra bite maybe, and sacrifice a forward. But I think realistically, apart from the youngster Callum, who's a defender, the options of Nicky Boschel or Ollie Johnson, they're not going to enormously affect how the game's going in midfield for Guiseley.
Tamworth again on the ball. And Brooksby's just lost possession upfield as Nick was talking, and now Tamworth come back into play, and this time a good ball into the area. Good work there from Lowe and Ellis to make sure that is cleared. When Brooksby collects this time, sends it long up towards Adam Boys. Boys has got a heck of a battle ahead of him with Preston, the captain, on him, but does well, wins the ball, Boys, and then takes the return pass, or was hoping to take the return pass from Gavin Rothery, but in that instance, Rothery's overhit that one, and it's out for a Tamworth throw. And these are key moments, actually. Guys who need to be getting this ball and keeping it in possession at these sort of occasions. There's a chance really to relieve the pressure.
Yeah, and if you were looking at making a change, the only one you really consider is Ollie Johnson for his quality on the ball, because he does seem to have a bit of extra time. Lovely footwork from Wayne Brooksby there. He's brought down badly. Yeah,
it was a lovely play from Wayne Brooksby, as Nick says. He skipped around one man, and then Dominic Smith took him out for the second, and will go in the book now. And I think he was just lining up a run, wasn't he, Brooksby, at that moment?
Yeah, he just knocked it between his right and left feet, completely bamboozled the first man, and Smith made absolutely certain that he wasn't going to progress any further towards the area.
Guiseley have the free kick. They had a couple of good chances early on in the second half. It's been much more the other way since then. 74 minutes on the clock. Brooksby delivers the cross into the area that's easy for the goalkeeper. His set pieces haven't been that great in the second half. Good work though from Ben Parker to recover the ball from Metham. Gives it to Danny Boschel. Boschel's got 2 on the edge of the 18-yard box to aim for. Goes square in the end. Gives it to Rothery on the left-hand side. Rothery chips it in towards Danny Forrest. His effort is cut out though by Traynor. Forrest gets the ball once again. Gives it to Holdsworth. Holdsworth floats this one in up towards Boys. Good header comes in here from Smith. And eventually James Belshaw claims the ball in the air. And Tamworth come away with possession over the halfway line now, with Traynor leading the way for Tamworth. Gives the ball out to the left-hand side here where James collects. Traynor now once again on the ball. Helps it forward again. It's a good one this time, and a chance here for Hibbert to turn on the edge of the 18-yard box. He goes outwards and sends it to the right-hand side. Excellent run from Gavin Rothery, an interception to take it away from Robert Purdy. But the clearance only goes as far as Adams, and Guiseley again under pressure. Can't relieve this pressure here, and Tamworth can put another ball into the box. Headed away this time by Jake Lawler. The conditions difficult in terms of sight lines. Guiseley just seem to be struggling to find and pick out their men ahead of them. Tamworth still in possession here with Leon Metham. Metham up against Danny Ellis. Tries to back heel the ball through Ellis. Jake Lawler cuts that pass out. And then it's away for a throw into Tamworth. Just as a little breeze whips our papers away from us here in the press stand. Guiseley again defending on the edge of the 18-yard box. Adam Boys deep in his own half. He's taken down by Metham. It's a bad tackle. Boys reacts to it. It was a clumsy challenge from Metham rather. And Boys didn't like it at all. Metham being spoken to by the referee, Paul Davison. I don't think more action's needed than that.
Now, hopefully that'll be all that comes to. Having made my prediction on the only change you could make, I'm about to have my bluff called because I think Nicky Boschel's coming on for the last just under quarter of an hour.
Interesting. I'm not quite sure who would. I can't quite guess. It's Gavin Rothery who's coming off.
It has to be Gavin because Wayne Brooksby's playing well. Danny Forrest has only been on just since before half-time, which only leaves Gavin. But Gavin's been working ever so hard since he dropped into that number 10 role. I'm not sure I would have been desperate to bring him off, but Mark will have a reason. And it might mean that Nicky Boschel has to drop in a little bit deeper than he would like to. I think if he's playing central, he'd rather play as an out-and-out striker. There's no doubt that Wayne Brooksby will stay on the right.
Trench's ball forward is sent away, but Nicky Boschel will get his first touch. He's beaten off the ball by Traynor in this instance. Tamworth collect, send it forward. Danny Ellis has to watch that one well. He does so. Danny Boschel takes the loose ball away from Caden Jackson. Great header from Ellis in that scenario. Good ball over the top here from Holdsworth. Finds Boys. Boys on the edge of the area, takes a snapshot. Hits the ground because the snapshot is way wide, and he's frustrated with himself because it was a half chance, more than that, don't get me wrong, but so few chances are coming his way in the second period. He will feel he needs to make every single one count. Let's give you a couple of goals from the Vanarama Conference North. Barrow 1, Lowestoft 0. And Gainsborough 1, Worcester City 2 now. So Gainsborough back in that game. Now Tamworth, they come down the right-hand side. They get the ball into the area. It's towards Metham, but it's well cut out. A great opportunity there. I think it was Jackson who had the chance to find Metham. His ball was a bit short. And now Guiseley come on the counter-attack here with Danny Forrest. Holds on to the ball just a little bit too long. Plays it out to the right-hand side, though. Keeps possession, gives it to Brooksby. Brooksby down the right channel, up against James, gets the ball past him and into the area. The goalkeeper just fumbles it for a moment. Nicky Boschel wasn't quite alive onto it to claim the loose ball. And James Belshaw clutches it gratefully and sends it upfield once again, this time in the air. Guiseley and Tamworth players struggling with the low sun to try and control the ball in high positions. Andy Holdsworth shanks his efforts as he takes over. And it's recovered by Tamworth, and they come down this right flank here with Brendan Daniels. Daniels tries to go past Ben Parker, surely not. And, well, the full-back Parker is somewhat incredulous, and I'm even more incredulous. He's going to give him a yellow card for that.
Well, it's one of the more blatant dives I've seen so far this season, but ho-hum.
Oh dear.
Oh.
Hopefully there's no assessor here. There's a few just simple decisions that have got wrong, and this could be costly actually for Guiseley, because it's a great opportunity. Ridiculous. I can't believe I'm making such a big deal of that yellow card as well.
That's one of the worst decisions I've seen for a little while.
Just poor. Don't like to get on referees' back, you know I don't.
No.
But there's just been consistently little things that have been wrong today. Fortunately, they haven't been crucial, but this could be, because Tamworth, with this free kick 5 yards up from the angle of the penalty area on the right-hand side, whips this one in. It's a difficult one. It comes back off the crossbar. And Tamworth pick up the second phase still with Purdy. Purdy floats this one into the area towards Traynor. Traynor can keep this one in. He crosses it again. It's an excellent one. And guys, he just somehow get it away once, but the third time finally Caden Jackson puts it into the back of the net. It was coming, and the goal is there. It came from the free kick. Guys, he just had several chances to clear their lines, but they just didn't do it. And on the 80th minute, it's now Guiseley 1, Tamworth 1.
Well, everything about that goal had the things that Guiseley have been struggling with in the second half. Once you've had the bad decision from the referee, Stephen Drench not knowing whether to go for the ball or whether it's going over unsighted, coming down off the crossbar instead and bouncing back out into play. The scrambles in the area, bodies flying in. And as you say, the goal was coming. It's we said that the 1-goal lead wasn't going to be enough for Guiseley today, but that hurts, because it came in in an unjust way, and Guiseley will rightly feel they've been harshly done towards by that referee, and they've got to pick themselves straight back up, because they don't have too long left in the game to go and find a winning goal here.
Well, Parker, the man whose foul led to the free kick, plays it long and up towards Boys. Boys tries to nod it down towards Boschel. The Lions have not been picking up enough points at home this season. Lost 2 defeats at home and then draws with Colwyn Bay, for example, against teams that they'd hoped to have beaten. They haven't been able to get over the line again today so far. Early goal and not able to force the ball home early in the second half. Now being made to pay late in this game. It's Guiseley 1, Tamworth 1, if you're just joining us with the last 10 minutes or so. Let's just give you some other goals as well. Stockport 4, Gloucester City 1 in the Vanarama Conference North. In the Vanarama Conference, Halifax 0, Altrincham 2. And it's in the Premiership, Sunderland 3, Stoke 1. Bradford City now 2-0 up against Crewe in League 1. Guiseley on the halfway line. Under pressure, Tamworth feel they can get the 3 points here. They're certainly coming forward with more purpose. And the ball sent forward up to the edge of the 18-yard box, where Danny Ellis has to intercept. Jake Lawler and Ben Parker can't combine, and they concede possession again. Tamworth press. And it's a throw in from Purdy on this right-hand side. Got 2 or 3 options ahead of him. Plays it square. Gets the ball back. Good ball forward towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Well collected by Danny Lowe. Picked up here by James. James sends it forward again. A good flick forward towards Metham, who controls well on the edge of the 18-yard box. Danny Lowe does well to take the ball away from him. But Guiseley just can't get that second phase. The second phase all with Tamworth at the moment. Every time Guiseley go forward. Lowe with the tackle. This time he can't get past his man. Then he's adjudged to have pulled back Leon Metham. And an easier yellow card this time for the referee to give against Danny Lowe. And another free kick in an identical position to the one that led to the goal, Nick.
Yeah, don't disagree with that decision. And having given that free kick, it is a yellow card offence. With the state of the phase of play as it was. But it puts Guiseley in the worst possible situation, with only Adam Boys not camped inside their own area as the referee counts out the 10 yards. And Tamworth goes searching for a second goal.
This is a very dangerous position, just that few yards up from the edge of the angle of the penalty area. Whipped in this time, Stephen Drench just gets it away, nobody can clear, and it bounces almost over the line, eventually it's forced over. It's bounced off Caden Jackson. Guiseley were like statues in their area. And eventually Caden Jackson can force it over the line, and Guiseley have gone from being a goal up to 2-1 down.
Well, that was so frustrating. Drench has made the first stop, parried it. He's not managed to get it out very wide, so it's remained in the area. And the second and third attempts, he's tried to catch it, he's tried to stop it going across the line. Obviously, we can't see from the angle that we are here, but it was it never hit the back of the net. Let's put it that way. But obviously, everybody from an official point of view is happy that it's crossed the line. Drench hasn't been able to get onto it quick enough, and now Hibbert's on the ball, potential for a third or a.
And it's gone. It was a good tackle here. Hibbert was chasing forward. Great tackle from Danny Lowe. He put the ball out for a corner kick, and now Guiseley are under the caution. That doesn't, I mean, it frankly doesn't look like any way back for us this afternoon. We just have somehow in this last quarter of a game just switched into complete defensive mentality and lost our thread of this match altogether.
I think since Gavin went off, we've not actually been playing very well.
Corner now for Tamworth, comes in from this left-hand side. The ball to be delivered by Daniels. Daniels up towards the back post. Guys, get the ball away this time with Lowe. Only as far as Trainer. Trainer gives it to the left flank where Daniels takes over. He's up against Danny Boschel. Guys, you need it up the other end. Never mind down here. And Brooksby makes the tackle, and a goal kick is given because the ball took a last touch off Brendan Daniels. We are going to see Ollie Johnson enter the field of play shortly. We only have 4 minutes left of normal time, plus whatever will be added on. And it's a substitute. Is that right? Am I seeing Danny Lowe being taken off here for Ollie Johnson? You are. That's going to be a bit of a shuffle. It's either going to be the case that Jake Lawler's going to have to go back in to defend alongside Danny Ellis, or they're going to be tucking in and leaving themselves a man short at the back and just trying to pack the midfield and the forward line. And it does actually look like that's what's happening. Three at the back, yeah? Yeah, Jake and Danny Boschel have stayed alongside each other. We've got a back three of Andy Holdsworth, Danny Ellis and Ben Parker, which, given the way the last 10 minutes has gone, doesn't fill me with confidence. But instead, obviously, we've got the extra man going forward. If we do get the ball, there's options up there. We need to get the ball into that area first of all. Now Lawler gets it inside his own half, sends it long. Brooksby tries to cut in field. His first touch isn't good enough. And Tamworth come away with the ball. And this time it's with James. Come on, Guiseley. And James is tackled, goes to ground. Guiseley win a throw in. I understand the thinking. I do. As there's a Tamworth injury here. James went to ground from that tackle with Jones. I think he's just using down the clock, really, to be honest. Don't think there's any harm done whatsoever. But the referee having to stop play anyway for some attention. Let's just give you a couple of other goals. 4-0 now to Leamington against Hyde. Halifax 0, Altrincham 3 in the Vanarama Conference. And it's Colwyn Bay 3, Oxford City 4. And Stockport County having a wonderful afternoon. They've just gone 5-2 to the good against Gloucester City, so goals banging in at Edgeley Park, left, right and centre there. 5-2 to Stockport County. Here it's Guiseley 1, Tamworth 2. Adam Boyes had given the Lions the lead, but Caden Jackson has somehow bundled the ball over on 2 occasions to give Tamworth the advantage now. And the home fans, meanwhile, are just expressing their opinion about Thomas James, who's just come back on. Guys, get the ball in towards the edge of the 18-yard box. The ball is repelled, and now Tamworth can come away with it. And they come over the halfway line with that man Jackson, who's had a great afternoon here at Nethermore. He is under pressure up against Ben Parker. It's been a bit of a horror show of the last sort of quarter of this game for Guiseley. And Tamworth looking to make it worse for them as they press once again here with Daniels. Comes forward down this left-hand side. Up against Andy Holdsworth. Takes it all the way out to the corner flag. No doubt just wants to run down the clock now. In the end, gets the ball into the area. It's dealt with unconventionally between Ellis and Lawler. And again, the second phase just picked up by Tamworth. Guiseley just aren't at the ball at all. It's just coming straight back down here. And Jackson with a drive of, well, some strange sort of proportions goes behind for a goal kick, but I have to say, I think this has been one of the most frustrating periods of play, passages of play in the last sort of 20 minutes or so I've seen Guiseley play.
Yeah, and I understand the argument for bringing a striker on up front and leaving it one short at the back. I guess the difference between losing 2-1 and 3-1 in terms of points and goal difference is really not worth worrying about. But with the way that they've been playing in the last few minutes, Guiseley could really capitulate here. They don't look like they know what they're supposed to be doing in defence, and it means they're not making any headway into trying to get the ball forwards either. And it's on the tail end of, as you say, a very strange period of play where they've just lost all initiative and momentum in the game. And Tamworth have fought hard, but they've not pulled up trees. They've not worked miracles by any means. They've just played a lively, hard-working game, and Guiseley have just completely lost control of it.
Wayne Brooksby just losing possession there, and Tamworth come away with it now with Brendan Daniels. He's bundled over by Lawler. Free kicks given to Tamworth. And they run the clock down here as we go to the full 90, and it looks like it's going to be another home defeat here.
A pointless challenge that by Jake. He's made sure he's got his foot across him and then put his hand in his back and shoved him to the ground. There's no point. That all you're doing is running the clock down.
Ball here with James. Tackle comes in. Guiseley come away with it now with Danny Ellis. Another Tamworth player down. Ball forward from Ellis up towards Ollie Johnson, who I don't think has even had a touch of the ball as yet. Yet Tamworth come away with it. We've had 4 minutes of stoppages to add, just 4 minutes. And now here comes Purdy down this right flank. He's holding on to the ball, just running down the clock. The players come across to tackle him. It's good work in the end. Danny Boschel claims it. Ben Parker takes it forward up to Danny Forrest. Forrest is tackled before he can get the ball any further forward. And once again it comes back here with Tamworth. Eventually Ollie Johnson gets a touch, intercepts, plays it square here to Jake Lawler. Lawler into Wayne Brooksby. Guiseley need it to go forward. There's much frustration in the home crowd that the ball isn't going forward, but when it does go forward, it's a meat and drink to this back line at the moment to clear, and they do on this occasion. Good interception here from Nicky Boschel. Gives it to Ollie Johnson, though, on the edge of the 18-yard box. Back here to Brooksby. Brooksby square. Boschel into Ollie Johnson, into the area. Ollie Johnson with two players around him, can't get past either of them. And in the end, it's taken away. And Metham working hard in his own half now. Sends it forward. Stephen Drench races out of his goal to try and send this one back towards the Tamworth front line. But good work from Hibbert. Closes down the Guiseley defence, prevents us from getting it away. Drench's ball forward is headed away eventually by Tamworth when it eventually goes long, and the visitors pick up the ball in the halfway line with Daniels. Back to James, and James long ball up towards the edge of the 18-yard box is defended well by Danny Ellis. Last chance saloon here for Guiseley. They need to get this one long upfield here with Ben Parker. Sends it up towards Nicky Boschel. Headers won by Tamworth again. Jake Lawler sends it into the feet of Wayne Brooksby. Brooksby, can he deliver this time? In towards Ollie Johnson. Nobody gets on it. Eventually Tamworth clear again. Jake Lawler with the second phase this time heads it towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Danny Forrest battles hard, tries to win this one. Danny Boschel and Forrest now on the left-hand side. Cross this one infield. Headed away by Tamworth. And again, Guiseley remained frustrated. Boys looked like he was being pulled back in the area by the defender, but there was nothing, no big claim. And then Danny Ellis is beaten to the ball here by Hibbert. Inside his own half, Hibbert just holds it up, goes down to the touchline, into the penalty area. Hibbert gets past him, goes to ground. No sense of a penalty at all. Andy Holdsworth now sends this one long. And we're just about done in this game soon. Guiseley now with the ball here with Ollie Johnson. Ollie Johnson down the left-hand side, can't get past his man. He can actually, goes towards the touchline, he's overhit it, he's bundled, penalty to Guiseley. And Ollie Johnson charged forward down the left-hand flank. He was charged together, it was a coming together with the defender. The referee had no hesitation. Penalty kick to the Lions, and this must be the final kick of the game, just about, Nick.
I think it will. I make it 3.5 minutes of stoppage time have already been played. Ollie Johnson beat his first man, went past the second man after he'd gone past the second man, he's been dragged down in the area, last-ditch challenge from the defender, and this is an interesting decision. I don't know who's made this. As soon as he won the penalty, Ollie Johnson grabbed the ball, ready to take the penalty. At some point, a decision's been made. Nicky Boschel will be taking this instead.
Nicky Boschel.
Not Adam Boys.
With the penalty now for Guiseley.
Not
Can
Ollie
he get
Johnson.
back into level scores? He can! Buries it, top right-hand corner. Nicky Boschel scores a late equaliser for Guiseley to grab what looks like a draw from a game that they had once led and looked like they were going to lose. But a late penalty award for a foul on Ollie Johnson sees Nicky Boschel have the chance from the spot. This time he takes it. It's Guiseley 2, Tamworth 2.
Well, I'm happy to be proved wrong in my worries there about the choice of penalty taker. I'm thinking to the penalty Nicky Boschel took a couple of weeks ago that was lucky to get past the keeper who nearly saved it that night, but this time it was high into the top corner of the goal and it was a very convincingly taken spot kick. But at 2-2, guys, we need to get back in because Tamworth are going searching for a last-ditch winner here.
Tamworth come forward again. This game not over just yet. It looked like it had been. Guys, you have to defend deep. They eventually get one away, but Tamworth come forward with a second phase again. The drive at Danny Ellis bashes against his head. He blocks it with his head, gets straight back up. The ball in towards the area. Eventually, Stephen Drench claims. Referee looks at his watch, looks at his other one. That'll be it. Time is called. What a fantastic afternoon. A late equaliser for Nicky Boschel. A great game for the neutrals. Probably quite frustrating for the managers of these two sides. Nicky Boschel's late penalty giving Guiseley a draw after they looked like they'd managed to snatch a defeat from the jaws of victory, and it's finished here. Guiseley 2, Tamworth 2.
Well, that game has had a bit of everything today, hasn't it? I guess that's what we come to the football for, but that equaliser at the end was all important. I mean, the wind had really come out of the sails of everybody in the ground that was here to watch Guiseley today or to play for them. And that goal in the fourth minute of stoppage time, we actually played on into the 51st minute of the second half. So we were well over what was originally allocated by the end, just for that last bit of drama. I don't know what a fair result was today because it was such a topsy-turvy sort of game. The possession we had at the start of the second half was really good, and we looked very dangerous and were making chances. And then something happened. I think basically when David Hibbert really came on for Tamworth that saw us capitulate and as I say, I've said it, lose the initiative, losing getting to the ball, losing being in the right place at the right time in midfield for the stray passes or the knockdowns and the second phase possessions. But in the end, you have to say to have pinched that equaliser and come away with a point after how miserable it was looking. Those two quick-fire goals from the set pieces, one of them should have never existed. The Ben Parker foul and the yellow card should never have been given. The Danny Lowe one was fair. It did look like it was all over and it was going to be a really miserable end to the afternoon. And I suppose we have to be happy with the draw, considering where we were. But there are going to be questions Mark will want his players to answer over how they managed to go from being in charge of the game at a goal up, having made the chances to go 2-0 up and really put the game to bed, not being able to take them, how they managed to surrender the lead and go behind so quickly. But those will be questions for another day.
No, there certainly will be. Let's just quickly go through the Conference North final scores. Barrow 2, Lowestoft 0, Boston 0, Hensford 2, Brackley 1, Stalybridge 0, Chorley 4, Harrogate 0, Colwyn Bay 3, Oxford City 4, Fylde 1, North Ferriby 0, Gainsborough 1, Worcester 2, Guiseley and Tamworth here finished 2-2, Leamington 4, Hyde 0, Solihull Moors 4, Bradford Park Avenue 1, still playing here, Stockport County 5, Gloucester City 3. So it's been an eventful afternoon, to say the least, here at Nethermore. 2 goals each. It's finished. Adam Boyce for Guiseley after 16 minutes looked to be setting us on our way to a routine victory until Caden Jackson popped up with 2 late strikes. And then Nicky Boschel, a last-minute penalty after Ollie Johnson was brought down in the area. It's finished here. Guiseley 2, Tamworth 2. We'll be back Tuesday night, the trip to Bowerfold for the game against Stalybridge. But for now, thanks for joining us, and we hope we'll see you on Tuesday.